It's 4 o'clock, and we are starting with item 108 and moving through as much of the agenda as we will get through today at 5 p.m. and then resume tomorrow with items 79 through 84, 92 and 93, and the balance of the agenda that we don't get to today. And with that, Casey, could you please take us through items 108 through 110?
Yes, so tab 108 is an action item. This is a request to approve a policy to close out the Position 1B Highway Railroad Crossing Safety Account Program. The program is over 14 years old, and neither the program guidelines nor statute provides a sunset provision to close out the program. At this time, all funds have been allocated and only $2,876,960 remain for project savings. Staff recommends these savings be placed to the McKinley Street grade separation project in the city of Corona, a high priority project identified in the California Public Utilities Commission's Section 190 grade separation program. The Section 190 grade separation program is a similar program to the Proposition 1B Highway Railroad Crossing Safety Account Program. Tab 109 is an action item. This is a request to amend the Proposition 1B State Route 99 program to add $3,661,000 in funding to the Plainsburg Arboleda Mitigation Project. This project request will increase funding for the plan's specifications and estimates phase by $340,000, increase funding for the right-of-way phase by $3,000, add the construction support phase and program $1,441,000, and add the construction capital phase and add the construction capital phase and program $1,827,000. Staff has reviewed this request and finds it consistent with the Proposition 1B State Route 99 program. Tab 110 is an action item. This is a request to approve a policy to close out the Proposition 116 program. This program is over 30 years old and most of the funds have been allocated and spent. In 2016, Assembly Bill 2620 included sunset language to close out the program and directs the Commission to reallocate funds not encumbered or expended by July 1st, 2020. Commission staff worked with Caltrans to identify remaining funds from savings and unallocated projects in the Proposition 116 program. A total of $9,575,351 was identified. Staff recommends these savings be placed to the Stockton Regional Maintenance Facility Expansion Project. Staff has confirmed this project meets Proposition 116 statutory eligibility and Proposition 116 program guidelines. Staff recommends your approval of tabs 108, 109, and 110.
Thank you very much. And I see that there's no public comment on any of these items. We hear a motion from Commissioner Davis. Do we have a second?
Move a second, Guardino.
Oh, wonderful. Douglas, could you please read the roll?
Commissioner Alvarado. Commissioner Davis.
Aye.
Commissioner Eager.
Aye.
Commissioner Grisby.
Aye.
Commissioner Guardino.
Aye.
Commissioner Inman.
Aye.
Commissioner Kehoe.
Aye.
Commissioner Liu.
Aye.
Commissioner Martinez.
Aye.
Commissioner Tavaloni. Chair Norton.
Aye.
Chair, the motion is approved.
Thank you. Item 111. Teresa?
Yes, Commissioners, item 111 is an information item. This is Caltrans Local Assistance second quarter report providing the progress of the sub-allocations the department has made for the federal fiscal year 2021. As of March 2021, Caltrans has sub-allocated approximately 25% to 411 projects. This is much lower than last year, which was at 43%. Caltrans says it's unusually low, but they expect for it to pick up in the third quarter. We will monitor and we will report back to you in the next quarter report when we present it in the next quarter. This is just an information item and no action is required in your part at this time. Agenda item 112 is an action item. This is the annual allocation request by Caltrans to administer the Local Assistance 2021-22 State Annual Subvention Program. There is a change to the amount requested due to an error made on the book item. The amount for the railroad grade crossing maintenance of $3,765,000 should be removed. This has been allocated directly by the commission already. Therefore, staff recommends you approve $193,655,000 for the local assistance 2021-22 state annual subvention program. Staff recommends your approval.
Thank you. We have no public comment at this time. Do we have a motion on item 112?
Motion to approve, Martinez?
I heard. Thank you. Kehoe second. Douglas, can you please do the roll?
Commissioner Alvarado. Commissioner Davis.
Aye.
Commissioner Eager.
Aye.
Commissioner Grisby.
Aye.
Commissioner Guardino.
Aye.
Commissioner Inman.
Aye.
Commissioner Kehoe. Commissioner Kehoe?
Aye.
Thank you. Commissioner Liu.
Aye.
Commissioner Martinez.
Aye.
Commissioner Tavaloni. Chair Norton.
Aye.
Chair, the motion is approved.
Thank you. Items 113 and 114, Gurtej.
Thank you, Chair Norton. Commissioners, item 113 is an information item presenting a preliminary closeout report for the fiscal year 2021 SHOPP minor program annual allocation. At its June 2020 meeting, the Commission approved an allocation of $250 million for fiscal year 2021 for the minor program. As of May 24th, 2021, Caltrans has utilized $204,933,000, or 82% of the annual allocation. Caltrans will submit the final closeout report for the 2021 minor program to the Commission at the October 2021 Commission meeting. If there are no questions, or if there are any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
No questions and no public comment.
Thank you. So item 114 is an action item requesting $250 million for fiscal year 21-22 minor program annual allocation. As part of the allocation, the SHOPP minor program project list includes 75 minor A projects in the amount of $74,374,000 and 229 minor B projects in the amount of $73,861,000. There's also a proposed $97 million for minor program capital outlay support. Staff has reviewed this item for the minor program annual allocation of $250 million and recommends approval.
Okay, we have no public comment on these items, and 114 is an action item. Do we have a motion?
So moved. Eager.
Okay, and I see Commissioner Davis seconds. Douglas, can you please read the roll?
I have a question
Yes,
actually.
sir. Mhm.
The category, it's only $2 million, but day labor. Can you find out sort of like who that is, what that is, and just report back?
Sure, absolutely. We also have James Anderson online if Caltrans has a response to that question.
Thank you, Gutierrez. Yeah, no, we would have to report back. We'd have to look into it and report back. Thank you.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Thank you. But we can move forward with the item with while they look into it. Is that correct, Commissioner Davis?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so Commissioner Davis seconds. Douglas, could you please read the roll?
Commissioner Alvarado. Commissioner Davis.
Aye.
Commissioner Eager.
Aye.
Commissioner Grisby.
Aye.
Commissioner Guardino.
Aye.
Commissioner Inman.
Aye.
Commissioner Kehoe.
Aye.
Commissioner Liu.
Aye.
Commissioner Martinez.
Aye.
Commissioner Tavaloni. Chair Norton.
Aye.
Chair, the motion is approved.
Thank you. Now we'll move to item 115. Tim? Tim Sobelman? 115 and 116. Is Kimberly Ellis Erickson ready to present these two items?
So if Tim isn't able to get on, perhaps Gertes can jump on.
Okay.
Yep. Just getting my camera back on. So item 115, give me 1 second. Sorry, I actually am not able to find Tim's notes on this.
Okay. Well, we can hold them on the desk. We'll hold 115 and 116 on the desk till he comes back. Let's go to item 117, Laura Pennebaker.
Chair Norton, Laura was having some technical difficulties.
Okay.
So
that's fine. We'll hold that.
Okay.
Let's move to item 118. Teresa?
I am here. Commissioners, item 18 is an action item. This is a request to approve the project list for the CRRSAA program. The project list consists of 28 projects totaling $54,933,000 as shown in attachment A of the book item. The CRRSAA program guidelines require the regions to submit to the commission a project list for approval prior to the obligation of funds. Please note project 5 from the east of the US 101 Transit Expansion Project for the San Francisco-Oakland region has a correction. The amount should be $480,000 as shown in the change list. Staff has reviewed this request and it finds it consistent with the CRRSAA program guidelines. Staff recommends your approval.
Thank you so much. And we have no public comment on this item. It is an action item. Do we need to approve as amended?
Yes, as amended on the change list, based on just on the change that I just said.
Wonderful. Do we have a motion to approve as amended?
Move approval with the amendment that Teresa just noted. This is Commissioner Gordino.
Thank you, Commissioner Gardino. Do we have a second?
Second by Kehoe. Grisby, next.
Wonderful. We'll take Kehoe. Grisby, your next second. All those, Douglas, could you please read the roll?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Commissioner Alvarado. Commissioner Davis.
Aye.
Commissioner Eager.
Aye.
Commissioner Grisby.
Aye.
Commissioner Gordino.
Aye.
Commissioner Inman.
Aye.
Commissioner Kehoe.
Aye.
Commissioner Liu.
Aye.
Commissioner Martinez.
Aye.
Commissioner Tavaloni. Chair Norton.
Aye.
Chair, the motion is approved.
Okay, we will be taking tabs 119 to 123 together because 124 has been withdrawn. Gertesh?
Thank you. Commissioners, item 119 is an action item to allocate 2 SHOPP minor program projects as part of the fiscal year 2021 minor program. The requested amount for the 2 projects is $2 million. Item 120 is an action item for SHOPP construction allocations. As noted on the change list, a technical correction was made to project number 25. With that change, this item will allocate approximately $376 million for 37 SHOPP projects. These 37 projects will improve 9 bridges, 104 lane miles of pavement, 40 culverts, 90 TMS elements, and many other important safety, stormwater, operational, and emergency improvements. Item 121 is an action item for SHOPP pre-construction support allocations. As noted on the change list, 9 projects with 18 pre-construction support phases were withdrawn prior to the commission meeting. As previously mentioned, these 18 pre-construction support phases will be taken at the additional CTC meeting to be held on June 30th, 2021. With these changes, this item will allocate approximately $47 million for 58 SHOPP pre-construction phases for PA&ED, PS&E, and right-of-way support. Item 122 is an action item to allocate $84,830,000 in construction funds for a SHOPP safety improvement project on State Route 70 in Yuba County. This project will improve safety by constructing a 2-way left turn lane and turn pockets, widen shoulders, improve clear recovery zone, upgrade drainage, and overlay pavement. Item 123 is an action item for advanced SHOPP construction allocations. As noted on the change list, project number 5 is requesting additional time to award and complete construction as part of this allocation. With that change, this item will allocate approximately $257 million for 7 SHOPP projects, which are programmed in the 21-22 fiscal year. These 7 projects will improve 10 bridges, 50 lane miles of pavement, and many other important safety, emergency, and operational improvements. With item 124 being withdrawn at this CTC meeting, staff has reviewed items 119 through 123 and recommends approval.
Okay. Do we have a motion?
So moved. Eager.
Okay, and who's the second from last time? And we have no public comment at this time. So Douglas, could you please read the roll?
Commissioner Alvarado. Commissioner Davis.
Aye.
Commissioner Eager.
Aye.
Commissioner Grisby.
Aye.
Commissioner Guardino.
Aye.
Commissioner Inman.
Aye.
Commissioner Kehoe.
Aye.
Commissioner Liu.
Aye.
Commissioner Martinez.
Aye.
Commissioner Tavaloni. Chair Norton.
Aye.
Chair, the motion is approved.
Thank you so much. Now we will move to item 125 through 134 and item 136. And 132 has been withdrawn, so.
Yes. Yes, I will be taking 125 to 134, then 136 and 135 will be taken separately. Okay, as a separate motion. So Commissioners, agenda item 125 is an action item. This is a STIP financial allocation request of $21,968,000 for the Interstate 80 Gilman Interchange Bicycle and Pedestrian Overcrossing and Access Improvements Phase 2 project in Alameda County. This project will construct pedestrian and bicycle facilities as well as interstate interchange modifications. And staff has reviewed this request, finds it consistent with STIP guidelines. I believe there is a speaker for this item, and so
Yes.
is it
For
okay?
125, we do have a public comment.
Okay, okay. So I will wait, right? And go to after the public comment, or do you want to
We
continue?
do the public comment now, so it's all connected, and then we'll go
Okay.
to the other items. So, Justin, can you tee up the public comment?
Yes, thank you, Chair Norton. We have Gary Yasinga, ready to make comment.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair and members of the Commission. My name is Gary Heising, Deputy Executive Director of Projects for Alameda County Transportation Commission. On behalf of Tess Lingell, our Executive Director, and our Commission, just want to thank you for considering this STIP allocation for a very important project in Alameda County. As you know, I-80 is a connector route to San Francisco over the San Francisco Bay Bridge, and this Gilman I-80 interchange has operational deficiencies, and this project will go miles in improving those deficiencies, as well as increasing circulation in the area, plus bike ped connectivity across 80 to the Bay Trail. So with that, I wanted to be brief and just thank the Commission for considering this item. Thank you.
Thank you for taking time to address the commission today. Teresa,
Yep.
item 126.
Item 126 is an action item. This is a STIP financial allocation request of $497,000 for 2 locally administered STIP projects off the state highway system. One is in Lassen County, the other one is in Tuolumne County. Staff has reviewed this request and finds it consistent with STIP guidelines. Agenda item 127 is an action item. This is a STIP financial allocation request of $13,476,000 for 8 STIP projects off the state highway system. Majority of them are for construction on road rehabilitation for local roads and 1 PPM in Los Angeles. Staff has reviewed this request and finds it consistent with STIP guidelines. Agenda item 128 is an action item. This is a STIP financial allocation request of $24,500,000 for the passing lanes for State Route 70 passing lane segment 4 and 5 project in Yuba County. Staff has reviewed this request and finds it consistent with STIP guidelines and the program. Agenda item 129 is an action item. This is a STIP financial allocation request of $156,000 for PPM, that's planning, programming, and monitoring for Inyo County. And for $156,000, staff has reviewed this request, finds it consistent with the STIP guidelines and the program. Agenda item 130 is an action item. This is a STIP financial allocation advancement of $17,200,000 for the State Route 70 passing lane segment 3 project in Butte County. This project is programmed in fiscal year 21-22. Staff has reviewed this request, finds it consistent with the STIP guidelines.
Vanessa, we do have a public comment on 131. So after you present that item, we'd like to have their public comment.
Perfect. Okay. Agenda item 131 is an action item. This is a STIP allocation advancement request of $40 million for the I-5 North Coast Corridor HOV Extension Phase 1 Carlsbad HOV Package 2 project in San Diego County. This project is programmed in fiscal year 21-22. This, I don't think it, no, it's programming 22-23. Please note, a portion of these funds, $12,837,000 of these funds are from the COVID STIP that the commission just adopted at the last commission meeting. And staff has reviewed this request, finds it consistent with STIP guidelines and the program.
Okay. Could we have, now that we finished 131, could we have the public comment on that item, please? Justin?
Yes, thank you, Chair Norton. We have one written comment at this time that comes from Don Batiste. She writes, the San Diego Association of Governments would like to express our thanks and appreciation to Caltrans and the CTC for support of the STIP advanced allocation for the I-5 North Coast Corridor Carlsbad project under item 131. Thank you.
Okay, and before we move on, Douglas just notified me that he got a public comment sent in for item 130.
Okay.
So Douglas and Justin, can you present that?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, it's a written comment from Yvonne Garcia from Butte County Association of Governments. On behalf of the Butte County Association of Governments, thank you for your support for the projects along State Route 70 corridor. This corridor has been underway since 1988 CTC blueprint. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Teresa,
132 has been withdrawn, so we go to 133. Okay, this is an action item. This is a STIP allocation advancement request of $2,116,000 for 6 locally administered projects. All are for planning, programming, and monitoring that are programmed in fiscal year 2021 and 22. Staff has reviewed this request and finds it consistent with STIP guidelines.
thank you. No public comment on that item.
Okay, agenda item 134 is an action item. This is a STIP allocation advancement request of $405,000 for 1 planning, programming, and monitoring project in Sacramento County. This project is programmed in fiscal year 21-22. Staff has reviewed this request and finds it consistent with STIP guidelines. And agenda item 136. I'm jumping to 136.
Yes.
This is where is 136? There it is. This is an action item. This is a STIP financial allocation request of $20,800,000 for the Stockton Diamond Grade Separation Rail Project in San Joaquin County. Staff has reviewed this request and finds it consistent with STIP guidelines. Madam Chair, staff recommends you approve items 125 through 134 and 136, and then 132 is withdrawn. Staff recommends your approval.
Thank you. Could we get a motion on those items?
So moved. Kehoe.
Thank you, Commissioner Kehoe. Do we have a second?
Second, Lou.
Thank you. Douglas, could you please read the roll?
Commissioner Alvarado, Commissioner Davis,
Aye.
Commissioner Eager,
Aye.
Commissioner Grisby,
Aye.
Commissioner Guardino,
Aye.
Commissioner Inman,
Aye.
Commissioner Kehoe,
Aye.
Commissioner Liu,
Aye.
Commissioner Martinez,
Aye.
Commissioner Tavaloni, Chair Norton.
Aye.
Chair, the motion is approved.
Thank you. Before we go to Commissioner Inman's recusal on 135, I'd like to go back to 115, 116, and 117. That's Tim Sobelman and Laura Pennebaker. And then we'll go back to Teresa's items, since you've got plenty more. Tim? You ready? Hi, Executive
Hi,
Director
Commissioner.
Mitch Weiss.
Tab 115 is a report of fiscal year 2021 right-of-way annual allocations. It's an informational item. I'll turn it over to Kimberly Erickson of Caltrans to make a few remarks about the report.
Thank you.
Or if we caught her off guard, it's just informational item. It doesn't require action. We'll go to tab 116. This is the annual right-of-way allocation request, $160 million for fiscal year 21-22. Staff recommends approval.
Thank you. Could we have a motion?
So moved. Guardino. Oh,
Okay. I think that's Grisby second.
Davis.
Davis. Okay, thank you. Douglas, could you please read the roll?
Commissioner Alvarado, Commissioner Davis,
Aye.
Commissioner Eager,
Aye.
Commissioner Grisby,
Aye.
Commissioner Guardino,
Aye.
Commissioner Inman,
Aye.
Commissioner Kehoe,
Aye.
Commissioner Liu,
Aye.
Commissioner Martinez,
Aye.
Commissioner Tavaloni, Chair Norton.
Aye.
Chair, the motion is approved.
Thank you so much. Mitch, will you be presenting item 117 today? Or will Laura Pennebaker be able to do that?
Actually, Chair, this is Laura Pennebaker, and I will be presenting tab 117.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
I apologize for my technical difficulties earlier. Commissioners, tab 117 is an action item to approve an aeronautics program annual allocation of $2.5 million for fiscal year 2021-22 to match federal airport improvement program grants. Each year, the Commission approves an annual allocation to match federal airport improvement program grants. This allocation provides the authority for the department to allot matching funds to individual projects as requested by airport sponsors. Staff has reviewed this request and finds it consistent with the program guidelines. Staff recommends your approval, and I have confirmed that Amy Choi is on the line if you have any questions.
Thank you very much. There are no public comments on item 117. I want to thank Amy Choi for being here. Commissioners, do you have any questions on this item? Okay, seeing none, could we get a motion on item 117?
Motion to approve Martinez?
Thank you.
Kehoe seconds.
Okay, thank you. Douglas, could you please read the roll?
Commissioner Alvarado, Commissioner Davis,
Aye.
Commissioner Eager,
Aye.
Commissioner Grisby,
Aye.
Commissioner Guardino,
Aye.
Commissioner Inman,
Aye.
Commissioner Kehoe,
Aye.
Commissioner Liu,
Aye.
Commissioner Martinez,
Aye.
Commissioner Tavaloni, Chair Norton.
Aye.
Chair, the motion is approved.
Thank you. Now we'll go back to item 135, and Commissioner Inman, did you have an announcement?
Yes, Madam Chair, I would like to recuse myself as I'm a trustee at the University of Redlands, and so I'll recuse myself from this item number.
Thank you very much. Now that recusal has happened, Teresa, can you present the item?
Yes, Commissioners, item 135 is an action item. This is a STIP financial allocation advancement of $6,826,000 for the AB 3090 reimbursement project, which is the Redlands Passenger Rail Project in San Bernardino County. Staff has reviewed this request and finds it consistent with STIP guidelines and the approved program. Staff recommends your approval.
Okay, could we get a motion on this item?
Grisby moves.
Thank you. Commissioner Grisby, who's second? I'll second. Oh, Kehoe will second, that's great. And no public comment is on this particular item. So Douglas, could you please do the roll?
Commissioner Alvarado. Commissioner Davis.
Aye.
Commissioner Eager.
Aye.
Commissioner Grisby.
Aye.
Commissioner Guardino.
Aye.
Commissioner Kehoe.
Aye.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Liu.
Aye.
Commissioner Martinez.
Aye.
Commissioner Tavaloni. Chair Norton.
Aye.
Chair, the motion is approved.
Thank you so much. We are now going to take items 137 through 139 together. Casey?
Tab 137 is an action item requesting to allocate $24,575,351 in STIP and Proposition 116 funds to the Stockton Regional Maintenance Facility Expansion Project in San Joaquin County. This allocation is consistent with the Proposition 116 closeout policy presented on tab 110. Staff has reviewed this request and finds it consistent with the STIP and Proposition 116 program guidelines. Tab 138 is an action item requesting to allocate $25,746,000 to 4 transit and intercity rail capital program projects awarded in the 2016 and 2018 programs. Staff has reviewed this request and finds it consistent with the program update on tab 36. And finally, tab 139 is an action item requesting to allocate $1,491,000 to the Proposition 1B State Route 99 Plainsburg Arboleta Mitigation Project. This allocation is consistent with the programming action presented under tab 109. Staff has reviewed these requests and recommends approval of tabs 137, 138, and 139.
Thank you so much. We have no public comment on these items 137 through 139. And commissioners, do you have any comments? If not, can we entertain a motion?
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Douglas, can you please read the roll?
Madam Chair, could you please clarify who made the motion in the second?
Kehoe made one.
Yep.
Eager made the other one, whichever one you want.
That's right. It was a tie.
Yeah.
Thank you. Commissioner Alvarado. Commissioner Davis.
Aye.
Commissioner Eager.
Aye.
Commissioner Grisby.
Aye.
Commissioner Guardino.
Aye.
Commissioner Inman.
Aye.
Commissioner Kehoe.
Aye.
Commissioner Liu.
Aye.
Commissioner Martinez.
Aye.
Commissioner Tavaloni. Chair Norton.
Aye.
Chair, the motion is approved.
Thank you so much. Now we're going to take items 140 through 145 together. Christine?
Yes, thank you. Commissioners, tab 140 through 145 are action items for allocation requests for the local partnership program and STIP program. Tab 140 is an allocation request totaling $5 million in local partnership formulaic program funds for 2 state-administered projects on state highway system in San Benito County, programmed in fiscal year 2021. Tab 141 is an allocation request totaling $8,728,000 in local partnership formulaic and competitive program funds for 9 locally administered projects off the state highway system in Nevada, Sacramento, San Mateo, Fresno, Tulare, Mendocino, and Sutter counties, programmed in fiscal year 2021. Tab 142 is an allocation request for $200,000 in local partnership formulaic program funds for the Arenda 2021 annual pavement rehabilitation project off the state highway system in Contra Costa County, programmed in fiscal year 21-22. Tab 143 is an advanced multi-funded allocation request for $11,680,000 in local partnership competitive program and STIP funds for the State Route 4 Wagon Trail Realignment Project on the state highway system in Calaveras County, programmed in fiscal years 2021 and 21-22. Tab 144 is an advanced multi-funded allocation request for $5,037,000 in local partnership formulaic program and STIP funds for the State Route 132 West Freeway Express Phase 2 project on the state highway system in Stanislaus County, programmed in fiscal years 2021 and 22-23. And lastly, tab 145 is an allocation request totaling $44,751,000 in local partnership formulaic program funds for 3 locally administered transit projects in Alameda, San Mateo, and Los Angeles counties, programmed in fiscal year 2021. Staff has reviewed the request, and the items are consistent with the local partnership program guidelines and the STIP guidelines. Therefore, staff recommends your approval of tabs 140 through 145.
Thank you. Before we make a motion, we have 2 public comments on item 143. Justin, can you please present those 2 public commenters?
Thank you, Chair Norton. Up first, we have Gary Tofinelli looking to make a comment.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair and Commissioners. I'm speaking on item 143. This is a long, winding, narrow stretch of highway within Calaveras County that is had 3 fatal accidents over the last year and a number of major accidents. And I would like to thank the CDT for their support of this project. And I would like to thank the Commission for their consideration on this project. Thank you.
Thank you. Next comment.
Next, we have Amanda Follendorf.
Hi, thank you for your time today and your consideration on item number 43. I am going to echo what Gary has said. This is a great community project that has been much needed in our area. And as a second generation of seeing this, it is a breath of fresh air to finally see the support from your commission to make this not only just great for our community in Calaveras County, but also in the rural areas of supporting our roadways. So thank you for your consideration on this item.
Wonderful. Okay, well, now that we have 2 supportive comments and no other comments on the items 145, could we please take a motion on 140 through 145?
We'll move, Commissioner Davis.
Second, Kehoe.
Go ahead.
Okay, second, Kehoe. Douglas, could you please read the roll?
Commissioner Alvarado. Commissioner Davis.
Aye.
Commissioner Eager.
Aye.
Commissioner Grisby.
Aye.
Commissioner Guardino.
Aye.
Commissioner Inman.
Aye.
Commissioner Kehoe.
Aye.
Commissioner Liu.
Aye.
Commissioner Martinez.
Aye.
Commissioner Tavaloni. Chair Norton.
Aye.
Chair, the motion is approved.
Okay, since item 146 has been withdrawn, we'll move to item 147.
Yeah, thank you, Chair Norton and Commissioners. Tab 147 is an action item to approve a Cycle 1 Solutions for Congested Corridors program allocation request of $230,000 for the locally administered Orange County Central Corridor Improvements Route 53-553 signage and real-time displays project in Orange County. Along with the allocation, the implementing agency, the Orange County Transportation Authority, is requesting to extend the final delivery of construction by an additional 36 months. And lastly, I will note that this item contains some changes to the project description and implementing agency in a revised yellow update, which is also noted on the change list. This request is consistent with the Solutions for Congested Corridors program and its guidelines, as well as the interim timely use of funds policy. Therefore, staff recommends your approval of tab 147.
And that's recommending approval of tab 147 as presented in the yellow update.
And in this presentation, yes, Chair Norton.
Excellent. Could we please have a motion to that effect?
Motion to approve Martinez?
Do we have a second? Perfect. Excellent. Thank you, Commissioner Eager. Douglas, could you please read the roll?
Commissioner Alvarado. Commissioner Davis.
Aye.
Commissioner Eager.
Aye.
Commissioner Grisby.
Aye.
Commissioner Guardino.
Aye.
Commissioner Inman. Commissioner Inman. Commissioner Kehoe.
Aye.
Commissioner Liu.
Aye.
Commissioner Martinez.
Aye.
Commissioner Tavaloni. Chair Norton.
Aye.
Chair, the motion is approved.
Thank you so much. Now we're going to move to items 148 through 151. Michael Joseph.
Thank you, Chair Norton. Commissioners, items 148 through 151 are action items and will be taken together. Each is an allocation request for Trade Corridor Enhancement Program funds. Item 148 is a request for $24,002,000 for PS&E funds for the I-80 Commercial Vehicle Enforcement Facility project on the State Highway System in Solano County. The new facility will have the capacity to inspect all westbound I-80 trucks passing the facility 24 hours per day, 7 days a week. Item 149 is a request for $2.1 million for design right-of-way and right-of-way support for the I-5 project on the State Highway System in Sacramento County. The project constructs acceleration and deceleration merge lanes and intelligent transportation systems infrastructure in Sacramento County. Item 150 is a request for $7.481 million for PS&E right-of-way and construction funds for the Calexico East Port of Entry Truck Crossing project off the State Highway System in Imperial County. The project widens the bridge over the All-American Canal in Imperial County at the Calexico Port of Entry to add truck lanes and passenger lanes and shoulders. Item 151 is a request for $587,000 for PS&E funds for the Trade Corridor Enhancement Program, San Onofre to Plugas Double Track Phase 2 rail project off the State Highway System in San Diego County. The project constructs a second main track capacity, including new bridges in San Diego County. Staff has reviewed these requests and finds them consistent with the Trade Corridor Enhancement Program guidelines and recommends approval of items 148 through 151.
Thank you very much. We do not have any public comment on these items. Could we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
I heard Davis and Eager. Douglas, could you please read the roll?
Commissioner Alvarado. Commissioner Davis.
Aye.
Commissioner Eager.
Aye.
Commissioner Grisby.
Aye.
Commissioner Guardino. Commissioner Guardino. Commissioner Inman.
Aye, and I was an aye last time, but I couldn't get off mute, so.
Thank you.
And I'm an aye as well. I couldn't get off mute very quickly. Sorry, Douglas.
No problem. Thank you, Commissioner Guardino. Commissioner Kehoe.
Aye.
Commissioner Liu.
Aye.
Commissioner Martinez.
Aye.
Commissioner Tavaloni. Chair Norton.
Aye.
Chair, the motion is approved.
Thank you very much. Now we're going to take items 152 to 156 together. Beverly, New, and Burkhardt.
Commissioners, tab 152 is an action item to approve allocations of $38,207,000 for 26 active transportation program projects. Tab 153 is an action item to approve an allocation of $744,000 for the active transportation program Lake Tahoe Boulevard Class 1 Bicycle Trail Project in El Dorado County. Tab 155 is an action item to approve an advance allocation of $112,000 for the Active Transportation Program Musqueam Area Safe Routes to School Pedestrian Improvements Projects in San Bernardino County. Lastly, tab 156 is an action item to approve an advance allocation of $1,726,000 for the Active Transportation Program Modoc Road Path Gap Closure Phase 1 project in Santa Barbara County. Staff has reviewed these requests and finds the allocations to be consistent with the Active Transportation Program guidelines and the adopted program. Therefore, staff recommends approval of tabs 152, 153, 154, 155, and 156.
Well, thank you very much. We have no public comment on these items. Could we take a motion to approve?
So moved. Eager.
Second, Guardino.
Okay, I heard Guardino second. Douglas, could you please read the roll?
Commissioner Alvarado. Commissioner Davis.
Aye.
Commissioner Eager.
Aye.
Commissioner Grisby.
Aye.
Commissioner Guardino.
Aye.
Commissioner Inman.
Aye.
Commissioner Kehoe.
Aye.
Commissioner Liu. Commissioner Martinez.
Aye.
Commissioner Tavaloni. Chair Norton.
Aye.
Chair, the motion is approved.
Okay, now we have something very exciting. We are going to do tabs 157 through 159, 161 through 165, and 167 through 173 due to items 159, 160, and 166 being withdrawn. Sheila?
Thank you, Chair Norton. Commissioners, item 157 is an action item to extend the period of project allocation for 124 SHOPP projects per the SHOPP guidelines. Please note the change list for the removal of project number 65, which was withdrawn prior to this meeting. Staff has reviewed these items and recommends approval of the time extensions as shown on the time extension table that had been previously distributed.
Tabs 158 and 161 through 164 are action items to extend the project allocation deadlines for 11 STIP projects. Staff has reviewed these requests and finds them consistent with the STIP guidelines and the interim timely use of funds policy. Please note tabs 159 and 160 were withdrawn prior to this meeting and are included on change list. Staff recommends your approval after this section.
Sorry, I was not unmuted. Good afternoon, Commissioners. Tab 166 has been withdrawn as noted on the change list. Tab 167 is an action item to approve a project allocation time extension request for one local partnership formulaic program project, the Marin-Sonoma Narrows Contract B7 project in Marin County. Tab 168 is an action item to approve a project allocation time extension request for one local partnership competitive program project, the Golden State Corridor Infrastructure Improvements and Economic Development Project in Fresno County. Tab 169 is an action item to approve two project allocation time extension requests for two local partnership program formulaic projects in Fresno and Sonoma County. And tab 170 is an action item to approve one project allocation time extension request for one local partnership formulaic program project, the Fire Suppression Systems Project in San Francisco County.
Commissioners, tab 165 is an action item to consider project allocation extensions for 47 projects in the Active Transportation Program. Please note that the City of South Lake Tahoe withdrew their time extension request as reflected in the change list. The city was able to receive their right-of-way certification in time to request their construction allocation at this meeting, bringing the number of project allocation time extension requests to 46. Please also be aware that tab 165 was revised and posted on the Commission's website on June 22nd, 2021 as a pink late item. Project numbers 14, 15, and 30 were revised due to Commission staff finding discrepancies with the original book item write-ups. After speaking to several agencies who identified COVID-19 as their main reason for project delays, staff found some of the agency's original time extension justifications as presented in the book items differed from what staff had heard from the agencies. The agencies may have been advised by Caltrans to emphasize COVID-19 as a primary reason for delay and to request more time than needed for the sake of simplicity. Caltrans revised these requests to more accurately reflect the agency's reasons for delay. These inconsistencies were corrected and are reflected as such in the pink book item and time extension table. Commission staff expects the time extension requests brought before the Commission are an accurate reflection of each project situation, and the amount of extra time requested directly corresponds with the period of delay. Commission staff will work closely with Caltrans headquarters, district staff, and the local agencies to improve the quality and accuracy of time extensions in future meetings. These requests are consistent with ATP guidelines, and staff recommends approval after item 173 is presented.
And thank you, Commissioners. Please forgive our musical chairs. That will bring us back to tabs 171, 172, and 173. And a final vote will be taken after tab 173. Tab 171 is an action item to approve a Cycle 1 Solutions for Congested Corridors program time extension for the locally administered US 101 Santa Monica Road and Via Real intersection improvement project on the state highway system in Santa Barbara County. The implementing agency is requesting to extend the period of project allocation by 6 months. This request is consistent with the Solutions for Congested Corridors program, as well as the interim timely use of funds policy. And Commissioners, tab 172 is an action item to approve a Cycle 1 Solutions for Congested Corridors program time extension for the locally administered Orange County Central Corridor Improvements, Route 53, 553, Bus Stop Improvements Shelters project in Orange County. The implementing agency, the City of Santa Ana, is requesting a 20-month project allocation time extension. This request is consistent with the Solutions for Congested Corridors program, as well as the interim timely use of funds policy. And finally, Commissioners, tab 173 is an action item to approve 2 Cycle 1 Solutions for Congested Corridors program time extensions. The first request is a 20-month time extension to allocate funding for construction of the locally implemented North Padero Lane Coastal Access Improvements project in Santa Barbara County. The second request is an 11-month time extension to allocate funding for construction of the locally implemented Orange County Central Corridor Santa Clara Bicycle and Pedestrian Improvements project in Orange County. These requests are consistent with the Solutions for Congested Corridors program, as well as the interim timely use of funds policy. And Commissioners, at this time, I will bring us home and recommend your approval of tabs 157, 158, 161 through 165, and tabs 167 through 173, which is 14 items in total.
Thank you very much. We also do not have any public comment on these items. So Commissioners, if you have no comments,
Motion to approve, Martinez.
Perfect.
Second, Grisby.
Douglas, could you please read the roll?
Commissioner Alvarado. Commissioner Davis.
Aye.
Commissioner Eager.
Aye.
Commissioner Grisby.
Aye.
Commissioner Guardino.
Aye.
Commissioner Inman.
Aye.
Commissioner Kehoe. Commissioner Kehoe?
Kehoe, aye.
Thank you. Commissioner Liu.
Aye.
Commissioner Martinez.
Aye.
Commissioner Tavaloni. Chair Norton.
Aye.
Chair, the motion is approved.
That's wonderful. Okay, we are going to do tabs, items 147 through 148, and we will conclude for the day. So if you could present these to us, we are very excited to hear them.
Chair, I believe you meant 174 through 178.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is that not what I said?
You said 147.
Lila, 174 through 178. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Proof that we need to end right after this. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate it.
Tab 174 is a contract award extension request for the Cycle 1 Golden State Route 5 project. LA Metro is requesting a 3-month extension to their contract award due date because of staffing shortages that delayed contract completion, requests for bid extensions, and a bid protest. And staff have reviewed this request and recommend approval.
Tab 175 is an action item to extend the contract award deadline for a STIP project in Mendocino County. Staff has reviewed this request and finds it consistent with the STIP guidelines and interim timely use of funds policy. Staff recommends approval after the end of this section.
Commissioners, tab 176 is an action item to consider a contract award extension for the City of Moreno Valley's segment of the Juan Bautista de Anza multi-use trail project in the Active Transportation Program. This request is consistent with ATP guidelines and staff recommends approval after item 178 is presented.
Tab 177 is an action item to extend the contract award deadline for a TIRCP project in Fresno County. This request is consistent with the TIRCP allocation and interim timely use of funds policy. Staff recommends approval after the end of this section.
Tab 178 is an action item to approve 3 contract award time extension requests for 3 local partnership formulaic program projects in Mendocino, Nevada, and Imperial counties. Staff recommends extending the time extension period for projects number 1 and 2 to 12 months for future unanticipated delays. Staff has reviewed the time extension requests and the items are consistent with the guidelines for the following programs: ATP, local partnership, STIP, TIRCP, and trade corridor enhancement, and the adopted interim timely use of funds policy. Therefore, staff recommends your approval of tabs 174 through 178 as shown on the yellow time extension table and the change list.
Thank you very much. We have no public comment at this time on items 174 through 178. And so with that, can we entertain a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Eager seconds. Douglas, could you please read the roll?
Commissioner Alvarado. Commissioner Davis.
Aye.
Commissioner Eager.
Aye.
Commissioner Grisby.
Aye.
Commissioner Guardino.
Aye.
Commissioner Inman.
Aye.
Commissioner Kehoe.
Aye.
Commissioner Liu.
Aye.
Commissioner Martinez.
Aye.
Commissioner Tavaloni. Chair Norton.
Thank you. Yes, aye.
Chair, the motion is approved.
Thank you. And thank you to all of you who made this day work. Before we conclude today, however, we have, I want to review what items we'll go over tomorrow, and Executive Director Weiss would like some closing comments. We will begin tomorrow taking up items 78 through 84, 92, and 93, and then we will go through items 179 through the balance of the agenda, which is 197. With that, Executive Director Weiss, you have the floor.
Oh, I just wanted to make a quick apology to James Anderson at Caltrans because I made a comment about the importance of being ready to step in if somebody wasn't available. And we weren't able to do it a couple times, so it must be more difficult than I think. And I also want to point out that Kimberly Erickson of Caltrans and her backup were both ready, but I was not patient enough to let the system figure out who we needed to call on and to let them speak. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for that moment of accountability. We are all family here, and we got through a lot of the agenda items today, and we have a lot more. And we want to thank you all for the preparation for these items and for a very, very effective day today. See you tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Great job, Madam Chair and staff.
Thank you, staff. Thank you, commissioners. Good night.